Hey, what's going on, guys? Richie Fix here, back with another video, and welcome to New York Comic Con, folks. We aren't even to the weekend yet, and I already have more than an abundance of news that I've got to cover. So right now, forewarned, folks, if you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe, leave the video a thumbs up, and hit notifications on, as the sub boxes are going to be very flooded with a lot of toy news coming at you fast this weekend. As Jada Toys is not going to be at New York Comic Con, but that wasn't going to stop them from making a splash this weekend, as we finally get the pre-order for Akuma and BALROG. No news on E Honda yet, but we did get the promotional pictures for Akuma and BALROG. This video here is going to be strictly on Akuma. BALROG will get a video very shortly after this one, both tonight, so don't worry about that. But then, oh my god, of course, Jada couldn't do something without Storm answering as they show off their very own Akuma. So it's going to be a long weekend, folks. We have a lot to talk about. Let's get started. Taking a look at the first picture of Akuma, it's finally here. I know people have been patiently waiting. They've been super excited for Akuma. Just the character, forget the pre-order, just the character itself. I've heard about people been wanting Akuma pretty much since this line has started, and he's finally here. And then he's got some great other things as far as Player 2s, Shin Akuma, things like that. So we'll look forward to those things here in the near future. But man, the pre-order's finally here. These are dropping tomorrow at all the big bad toy stores, Entertainment Earths of the world, and everything. So taking a look at the figure, let's take it all in here. So he's getting an additional head, the additional hands. He's getting an effect that looks very similar to SAGAT's effect, with maybe just a little bit deeper color and some extra effect at the end of the fireball. And then let's take a look at Akuma himself. He's got the bigger, I believe this is gonna, everything here should be a whole new sculpt. There's gonna be no reuse from old Ryu or Ken or anything like that. He is gonna be, I believe, actually quite a bit bigger as far as the bulk and size of the body. And then obviously a custom gi. He's got the sandals with the toe articulation, and he's got the nice beaded necklace, which looks good. The head sculpt's actually turned out really well, in my opinion. There's plenty of more promotional shots. I'm not going to sit there and talk about each one. Let's go over and do our big overview of Akuma, what we think, and what else is going on. Now in the background, I'm just going to have the rest of the promotional shots throwing. I didn't take all of them. I just basically took the best photos from what came out and what's available. You'll see a couple more tomorrow, but I promise there's nothing good here that you know, I chose the best ones for sure. It's very, very cool. I'm noticing that the sandals do detach from the heel there. So I think that's a nice touch. You do get that nice symbol there on the back of the gi. I think that's well painted. I like the way the gi looks. It's well sculpted. I like the tattered effect that he's got on by the shoulders and by the ankles of his feet. The effect did turn out nice. Again, it looks very similar to Sagat's. I wonder if they used just basically that same effect and just did some re-sculpting on that. Wouldn't be shocked. I think the beaded necklace also turned out very good. A couple of the things that I noticed as far as cons are concerned, and they're not my cons, but they're cons that other people have expressed to me, are a couple of things. A lot of people don't like these head sculpts. I don't know. I mean, to me, they look pretty much one and the same from the first time we saw Akuma. But I never had a problem with them. So if you didn't like the first head sculpts, I'm not seeing a lot of difference from the first time we saw them. I wish there maybe was a little bit more of a wash on the teeth. For some reason, I feel like the teeth kind of all blend together just a little bit, but I mean, I can add my own wash. That's not like a deal breaker or anything, but I'm just noticing things. And other things that I noticed that people talk about a lot with Akuma is the skin tone. A lot of people felt that this was too light of a skin tone. I didn't, you know, a lot of people were wondering if it was lighting. It does look like it's a little, like, I don't know, some photos like this make it seem like it's darker. And then there's other lighting photos where it does seem like it's a little bit lighter. Overall, I do think people ultimately will want the skin tone just a little bit darker. But again, I don't know if that makes or breaks the figure for you on an Akuma figure. But I think this actually turned out really well. Now, there are a couple things that I have questions about. One, are they going to do deluxe pricing on this? Two, did they hire their prices as a whole? As CAMMY was $32.99 on Entertainment Earth. Yes, I know that was an exclusive for Entertainment Earth. Everybody makes that argument, but The reason why White Gi Ken was more expensive is he actually came with more than the traditional Ken. He got an extra effect. where CAMMY is strictly just a repaint. She got nothing extra and still got the $32.99 price tag. So I'm curious to see if they treat this figure as a deluxe figure. The deluxe figures were priced at $35, but I wouldn't be shocked if those actually got bumped to freaking $40, and now we're seeing these standard figures at $32.99. So if you see this guy at $32.99, then I do believe that's going to be their new standard price for the traditional figures. And then I do think their deluxe figures are going to be closer to the $37.99/$40. So I know they didn't announce a price hike, but just because they didn't announce it doesn't mean it's going to happen. I mean, as a hopeful, wishful person, we can all hope that this guy's $29.99, which is their standard figure price, but I don't know. I guess we'll find out tomorrow, as none of the listings that I saw actually gave the price. They just said it was going to be going up for pre-order tomorrow on Entertainment Earth and Big Bad Toy Store. And I'm also very curious, are these going to make the 2025 deadline? I'm very curious to see what the satisfaction date for these pre-orders are going to be, as they announced CAMMY, who was actually shown and pretty much done at San Diego Comic-Con in July, and her pre-order wasn't set to be satisfied until November. So it's like, is this gonna? I mean, this is a month earlier that her pre-order got released. Are these gonna be this year, or are they gonna fall over to the 2026? And I'd love to be optimistic and say that I think these are going to hit, just barely squeak in. And that's obviously what I'd like to see, obviously. But, I wouldn't be shocked if Big Bad Toy Store didn't actually start shipping these out until probably late January. And that's for Balrog and Akuma. But we'll see, that's not I don't know. That's just a guess. But it's glad to see that they're here, right? Because we were getting a lot of radio silence from Jada. No matter what you guys say, I know a lot of you guys are fine getting the one update from San Diego Comic-Con, but it's just not what we're used to. And when you're used to something and then you take it away, there's cause for concern. And what I mean by that is JUHN used to do a lot of YouTuber interviews, but then again, they didn't have competition back then when he was doing that, when he was showing off different things and announcing plans and details. I think one of the main things that's got kind of misconstrued is that people just don't like being left in the dark. Like, when Storm puts out their figures and everything, they give you an estimation on, like, when things, like, they don't leave you in the dark too long on when certain figures are coming out. Like, all we have to go off of when Jada announces their figures at San Diego Comic-Con is a rough estimate. But there's not really like a concrete answer. And then you're just, when it gets past that point, then you start to think the worst, right? Well, not a lot of you, but I mean, some people do, some people don't. It's like, well, what's going on with Jada? Things are taking too long, but then, things are put to rest real easy with a pre-order at New York Comic-Con. Was this their, idea the whole time? I don't know. I still am shocked they're not going, but I'm sure they've got a lot to do. There's reasons why they didn't go to New York Comic-Con. They're probably busy, and that's fair. So we'll say that, but yeah, a couple things to watch out for. Is there going to be a new price tag on these? Is he going to be deluxe pricing? Is he going to be standard? He is a bigger figure. I don't know if he's big enough to meet the deluxe. I wouldn't think so. But, yeah, I think he looks great. I am obviously going to be picking him up. I know we've talked, it seems like I've put Jada down a lot lately, but no, they're the ones that started this channel. They're the ones I'm going to stick by through thick and thin. I don't care. I'll collect both. I don't need to pick one. It's not do or die for me on either line. I'm happy to have both. And, if you're one that wants to choose a side, that's fine. It's just not going to be me. I like both sides. But it's not going to stop me from talking about certain things. If things are concerning me, it's not going to stop me from talking about concerning things on either side, whether it's Storm, whether it's Jada, whether it's Hasbro, McFarlane. I will talk about if I notice things are seeming off or I'm not happy with something. I mean, these companies aren't perfect. You can love the company, but it doesn't mean that they're not going to do things that upset you or bug you or irritate you from time to time. It doesn't mean that Jada sucks as a company or anything like that, but, I'm sure they've had a few obstacles thrown in their way with new competition and familiar properties being used and things like that. So, they've got a lot of work to do. So I'm sure they're trying to move things along as quickly as possible, and there have been different obstacles along the way. So other than that, guys, here it is, Akuma. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you like it? Is there anything about it that you feel like could be better? I think it's a nice, I can't obviously give it a full grade until I get it in hand, but I think everything looks good. I like the hair. I like the sculpt. I do wish he was maybe a little bit darker in the skin tone. I don't know why. I feel like he's got like a deeper tan. But other than that, I like that the heels come off the sandals. I wasn't expecting that. But yeah, I think it looks great. I'm expecting great things. Jada's never gave us a stinker before, and I don't expect him to start now. Other than that, guys, I will have more videos. Again, if you're new, subscribe, leave the video a thumbs up, hit the hype button. That button obviously does something, and I'll see you on the next one. Richie Figs. Later.